Imagine a world with no pain, no suffering, and no evil. Sounds perfect, right? But would you still be free? Would love still mean anything? Let's explore what kind of world God could have made and why he chose this one. One of the most enduring and emotionally charged objections to the existence of God is the problem of evil. It's not just a philosophical puzzle, it's a deeply human question. How can a good and all powerful God allow evil to exist in the world? This challenge is often framed as a logical contradiction. If God is all powerful, he could stop evil. If he's all good, he would want to stop evil, and yet evil exists. Critics argue that these three premises cannot all be true at the same time. If two are affirmed, the third must be denied. This trilemma has led many to question either God's goodness, his power, or his very existence. This can also be boiled down to a question, namely, would an all good, all powerful God stop evil? But this argument, while emotionally compelling, rests on assumptions that deserve closer scrutiny. The first assumption is that God's goodness must manifest as the immediate eradication of evil. The second is that human beings are passive recipients of divine control, rather than actual active moral agents. And the third is that evil has no redeeming purpose. These assumptions overlook a critical error, the reality of human free will. If God created humans with genuine free will, then he necessarily allowed for the possibility of sin. Love, by its very nature, must be freely chosen. Forced love is not love, it is coercion. If we were programmed to love God without the ability to choose otherwise, our love would be hollow, robotic, and morally meaningless. True love requires the freedom to reject. And with that freedom comes the possibility of evil. This is not a flaw in God's design, it's the cost of creating beings capable of authentic relationship and moral growth. To explore this further, let's consider 5 possible scenarios God could have chosen when creating the world. He could have chosen to not create at all. He could have created beings without free will. He could have created beings with free will who would never sin. He could have created a free world with sin, but ensured universal salvation. Or he could have created a free world with sin, where some are saved and some are not. The fifth one is our world. The first option, non-creation, is a category error. Comparing being to non-being is like asking what color justice is. It's a meaningless comparison. The absence of creation cannot be weighed against the moral dynamics of a created world. It is not a viable alternative in any meaningful sense. The second option, creating beings without free will, would eliminate moral responsibility entirely. In such a world, there would be no genuine good or evil, no virtue or vice, no love or betrayal. We would be automations, acting out divine programming without agency. This would make mortal language incoherent. There would be no heroes, no villains, no sacrifice, no redemption, only obedience without meaning. The third and fourth options, creating a free world where no one sins, or where everyone is saved, sound appealing, but they collapse under the weight of human freedom. If even one person chooses to sin or reject salvation, these ideal worlds unravel. Free will means that not all will choose rightly. The possibility of sin is inseparable from the gift of freedom. And if salvation is forced, it ceases to be salvation, it becomes compulsion. That leaves the fifth option, a free world with sin, where some are saved and some are not. This is the only scenario that preserves both human freedom and moral responsibility. It's not the best possible world in terms of comfort or happiness, but it is the best possible framework for cultivating genuine love, virtue, and eternal joy. It allows for the reality of evil while preserving the integrity of God's goodness and power. In this world, those in heaven have freely chosen to love God. They have sinned, but they have also accepted his grace. Their love is real because it was chosen. Those in hell have also sinned, but they have rejected God's offer of salvation. Their fate is not imposed, it is the result of their own choices. This is tragic, but it is also just. God does not override human freedom, even when it leads to sorrow. He respects our agency because he desires authentic relationship, not robotic compliance. This brings us to a common emotional objection. Why do bad things happen to good people? Before we get back to the video, I want to share with you our mission. Our mission is to help you know and follow Jesus through daily Bible studies, learning about historic Christian documents and creeds, and apologetics. If you want us to help you in that journey, you can like and subscribe and all, and that helps. But more than anything, watch another video. We will have an end screen at the end to show you some of our best videos and playlists. It helps the algorithm push out our content more than anything else, helping us spread the gospel and the truth and logicalness of Christianity to as many people as possible. Now back to the video. Why do bad things happen to good people? It's a sincere and heartfelt question, but it contains a hidden premise that most people are good. Scripture challenges this assumption. Jesus himself said, "No one is good except God alone." Paul writes that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. From a biblical perspective, none of us are truly good. We are all in need of grace. Still, we wonder, why not less evil? Why not fewer tragedies? But this question assumes that if we cannot see a redemptive purpose in suffering, then none exists. It places human perception alone above divine wisdom. Yet if God knows all, he can permit temporary evils for the sake of eternal goods. Without hardship in our lives, we would never grow. Just because we cannot see how a particular hardship leads to growth or redemption doesn't mean it doesn't. Often the fruits of suffering are hidden until much, much later. Consider the story of Job. In chapter 1, Job is righteous but untested. By chapter 42, he is refined, humbled, and transformed. His suffering was not meaningless, it was the crucible through which his faith was deepened. Without hardship, we remain shallow. Trials produce endurance, character, and hope. Evil, when permitted by God, can become the soil in which virtue grows. In summary, the existence of evil does not disprove God's goodness or power. It reveals the depth of his commitment to human freedom and the complexity of his redemptive plan. A world without evil would require a world without choice, and a world without choice would be a world without love. God chose the path that allows for both human freedom and salvation. It's not the easiest path, but it is the most meaningful. As I said earlier, our mission is to help you know and follow Jesus through daily Bible studies, learning about historical Christian documents and creeds, and apologetics. If you want us to help you in that journey, you can like and subscribe and all, and that helps. But more than anything, watch another video. It helps the algorithm push out our content more than anything else, helping us spread the gospel and the truth and logicalness of Christianity to as many people as possible.